on the tweets, tweeting about how this fight scene on the rooftop of the car garage was better than everything that has been done on Netflix. And I say, sir, that is not only blasphemous, but it's disrespectful. What's good, everybody? Welcome back to Whole Views. Today we're going to be talking about She-Hulk episode 8. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't so far. We do reviews, we do watch-alongs, we do trailer reactions, we do so many different things on the channel. We would love to have you subscribe, come back and check out more videos featuring me talking about the things I enjoy. So if you've been keeping track and keeping up with the channel, you might have noticed that I did not do an episode 7 review and reaction for She-Hulk episode 7. And that was because that was the biggest filler episode of the season. Nothing major happened there. The only significant thing that happened at the very end of the episode was that the Josh character went from being a good guy to a bad guy. And that was very upsetting to me, because I was pulling for the Josh character to be a good guy because I wanted something good to happen for the Jen character. Not She-Hulk, just Jen. Finally found a good guy, thought it would work out. It didn't. Wham. Oh well. That was it. That was pretty much it for episode 7. You know, she went to Blonsky's little camp and it was a lot of character work and showed how Jen had some issues and she worked through them. And it's just like, I didn't care. I didn't care too much. And I find myself not caring about a lot of things when it comes to this show. And so getting past episode 7, moving into episode 8, my main thought is if you take Daredevil out of this episode, it also feels like filler. And I still really do not like the fourth wall breaks in the show. So let's talk about it. The episode opens with LeapFrog, like another throwaway character who looks like a cross between like a really bad cosplay of Kick-Ass and just like an Iron Man wannabe with the rocket booster setup. It was weird. But he gets there, he gets beat up, and then you get the courtroom scenes and you get the fashion designer showing up and her having the conflict of interest, which I really thought if the law firm was any kind of respectable firm, they would have just let her out of that and had somebody else prosecute that. But, you know, we need a show to happen. So she goes through with it. She prosecutes the guy that, you know, used to tailor for her. Charlie Cox comes in and the show gets elevated because you get Matt Murdock on the West Coast. He shows up, he does his lawyer thing, he is spectacular at it, and you expect that because Daredevil has already been established to be such a good lawyer on his own Netflix show. Fast forward through all that litigation stuff, real good stuff, you get the bar scene where there's a bit of flirtatiousness going on. I think that she hinted at it in the fourth wall break at the bar, but I didn't really feel it. Like just looking at the characters interacting, I thought it was relatively innocent, but maybe that's me and I don't know how to flirt. Who knows? Anyway, we move past that. We get to the action of the episode where there's a fight between Daredevil and She-Hulk. So here's where, you know, you get the rest of the world and their reactions coming in here to this fight scene. I saw someone on Al Gore's internet, on the Twitter, on the tweets, tweeting about how this fight scene on the rooftop of the car garage was better than everything that has been done on Netflix. And I say, sir, that is not only blasphemous, but it's disrespectful to Luke Cage, it's disrespectful to Jessica Jones, and it's disrespectful to Daredevil and the Defenders, because every fight scene that we saw in Daredevil was choreographed better than all the fight scenes we saw in She-Hulk. And I'm not trying to make this a She-Hulk versus Daredevil show type of thing. I just like really wanted to address that one thought that one person had on Twitter. Like, yo, please, I hope no one agrees with this person that rooftop fight scene from episode 8 of She-Hulk could hold a candle or a match to anything we saw in Daredevil. Daredevil seasons 1 through 3 were amazing, and the fight scenes were unparalleled by anything we saw here. But it was still a cool little interaction between the two. I like the fact that she had to use that thunderclap to kind of disable Daredevil, because we know all his power is kind of based on hearing, and all his abilities and agility and all that stuff based on hearing. So it's really cool that, you know, those two things figured into each other. the way they did. You move past that and you get to a real, what I feel like it reminded me of was like the Arkham Knight Batman games, where you have the scene in which Daredevil is pointing out all the different bad guys, and he knows, this tactic of, like the Predator takedowns. I'm gonna swoop through and I'm gonna take down each one step by step, and it's gonna take me like maybe 10 minutes to get him. And she keep calculating 30, and that was a cool little bit between the two of them. And She-Hulk shows up in her little outfit, and she's ready to just smash and go through. You could feel the tension where she would show up and smash through the walls and just end that whole warehouse fight. I thought that was, done very, very well. The way that she gets back in the good graces of her tailor, done very, very well. I liked all that. Then we get to the little romantic scene between the two. I felt like that came out of left field. I didn't feel the chemistry up until when they talked after the police showed up. So the police show up, they clean up the scene, and She-Hulk, well, it was Jen, just the regular Jen version, sitting down talking with Matt Murdock, and they were sitting down talking. And at that moment, I kind of felt the little relationship kind of thing build. But before then, I hadn't really felt it. But it culminated in a little sex scene, I guess. And I like the way that they did that. At least they didn't have to show anything or make it go too far. They keeping it relatively PG-13. They got the innuendos going on. Everybody who's grown up knows what happened behind those closed doors, and that was fine. It does seem like the Jen character is pretty quick to move on the guys and such. But then that gets exploited at the end of the episode, because fast forwarding through the worst part of the show to me, which was the fourth wall break, where she's big time explaining about, well, I thought the episode would be over because the normal length is like 24 minutes, but you get an extra 10 minutes this episode. And like, she's explaining about like, oh, this might be the next to last episode. The next episode might be the finale. What's going to happen here is going to set us up for this big finale. And I'm like, just let the show happen. Like, I don't like that. I don't like that you're stopping the show from happening to talk about what's going to happen. Just do the show. Just make the show happen, man. I don't know, bro. I don't know why it is I don't feel that mechanic here. But every time they use it, every time she stops and looks at the camera, it's just annoying to me. So that happened, and she, you have the fourth wall break. She goes to the gala, and then they take her promiscuity and they throw it at her and they put it on the screen, and her response is incredibly appropriate. If that was what they've been building to with all her different like yearning for a companion and like being in a relationship and her promiscuity that we see on display, if that's what they've been building to, I don't know if that's the best approach to be taken with this character. I don't know how she's portrayed in the comics, so I don't know if that's a thing with her and the promiscuity and then people taking it and trying to throw it back at her. I don't know, but the way they did it here, it was infuriating. I was like, wow, that's what y'all doing? Like that's what we're doing. This what the buildup was. Like, all these guys is like mad at her, and the Josh character like is basically using, what do they call it? Revenge. He's doing revenge porn. It's like, wow. I didn't see that coming at all. I didn't think that would be something that they would do. So I think that it is a good use and a good little twist at the end, that this is what all those little romantic scenes and dating app stuff built up to. But then at the same time, I'm like, I don't know if that's the right move. Is that going to resonate with people? I don't know. Let me know in the comments. Did it resonate with you? Because I was like, yo, if she freaks out and gets mad and goes like on a little small rampage, it's justified. Like, yo, let me live my life out here. Like, let me live my life out here. So I definitely understand the rage that she feels at the end. It makes sense. Like, hey, allow me to live. Don't judge my every movement. I feel that. And I feel like, hey, that's a good little culmination. But at the same time, I thought all that, the sneaking around, and it looks like Josh had taken her blood in episode 7 at the end. We know now that he set up a camera and recorded the whole interaction. I'm like, I thought that would culminate in a physical conflict, like an actual villain that could stand against her and like cause her problems. But if y'all just gonna use this to shame her, it's like, it's 2022. I don't see that really being something you can do to shame people. I just don't feel it being effective. Again, let me know. I don't see the character just like laying down and taking that. Women have too much ownership of their bodies and their sexuality in today's day and age for somebody to be made ashamed for going on a little streak and, catching a few bodies. I just don't see that being the biggest of deals. But again, I could be wrong. I could be very wrong. There was also, I missed the scene with Lewis or Todd, whatever that character's name is, who bought the Wakandan spear. Wish they would have just cut it all. I don't see the use of it. What if Todd is the bad guy? Now that I'm saying it out loud. What if Todd was the bad guy and he's like masterminding it because he's been rejected multiple times? That would be disheartening. Like the fact that the leader is not connected to intelligentsia or like anybody else who's important. It's just Todd with a bunch of money. Like, ugh, that would be disgusting. Man, I don't know now, man. I have a lot of thoughts, but my main thought is this. When I think about She-Hulk, it's all right show. I've watched every episode, but it's not something that I'll revisit. It's not something that I think has been the best Disney Plus show. It's not something that I feel like is really even that great. It's not great. It's good. It's better than some stuff, but it's definitely better than Iron Fist. But in season 3 or 2 of Jessica Jones, I don't remember which one, but it's better than some of that stuff too. But just, I don't know. Something about this show I don't like. Let me know your thoughts. I thought this episode was pretty solid, mainly because of Daredevil and mainly because of that twist at the end. But take out Todd, take out all the fourth wall breaks, and just give me the show. Don't narrate the show to me and try to like talk me through what's gonna happen. Just let it happen. Enjoy yourself. Guard your heart. Go watch something good.